Top 5 mistakes to avoid when buying your first autograph. That's today's topic in episode 24 of the Power Sports Memorabilia Show. All right, thank you again for joining me. I am your host, Matt Powers of the Power Sports Memorabilia Show. Please hit that subscribe button wherever you are watching, listening. I always appreciate that and always enjoy doing these videos for you guys. So it got me thinking this past week, majority of my customers are people who have never purchased an autograph before. They're buying something as a gift. So they don't know anything about this market. I mean, imagine if you knew nothing about water heaters, right? And you had to go buy a new water heater. Where would you start? What would you do? You'd probably want to find someone who knew what they were talking about, who could walk you through the process, explain things in layman's terms, so that way you can make an educated decision on what you'd like to purchase, right? So it got me thinking, and I would do a top 5 list of mistakes to avoid when buying your first autograph, all right? So let's get started. Number 1 is buying an autograph without a certificate of authenticity. When you're buying that first autograph, you don't know what's real, what's authentic, what's not. So buying something with a certificate of authenticity is going to be your main thing to do. Now, which items are the best certificates of authenticity to buy? Not to get overly complicated here. So again, let's try to keep it simple for everybody. But there are 3 authentications that you should probably look for. Okay, number 1 is a company called PSA DNA. They are the oldest authentication company in the United States and probably in the world. So buying something with their certificate of authenticity is a good bet. Number 2 is JSA, also known as James Spence Authentication. And the third one is Beckett Authentication, also known as BAS, okay? So if you can buy an autograph with one of those 3 authentications, you're doing pretty good. What you want to typically avoid when you're buying your first autograph is buying something with either A, not a certificate of authenticity, or B, some no name brand, some guy made it in his basement certificate of authenticity, okay? Now, as you get more and more versed in autographs and become, knowing what's authentic and what's not, and you want to dabble in stuff like that, then by all means, please do. But most of us are buying this for a gift for someone. So let's keep it real simple. Let's pick up something with a PSA DNA, JSA, or Beckett Authentication. And, here at Power Sports Memorabilia, I've got 22,000 items with those authentications. So good quality stuff, 100% authentic every single time. Number 2 is buying a really large-sized item. So let's just imagine you're going to buy a gift for someone for a Christmas or birthday or whatever you're doing, and they live in an apartment and they don't have much wall space, and you go out and buy them a autographed framed jersey, okay, something huge, this monstrosity, this thing that's 32 by 40, and they don't know where to put it. So I'm just assuming that this particular person that you're buying the gift for, you haven't talked to them about their wall space and all that kind of stuff. So buying a large size item is a difficult way to go, just because you're not quite sure sometimes what kind of wall space that person has, if they have a bunch of room in their office. So getting a smaller type item is usually the way to go, and they tend to be less expensive too. So by a smaller type item, what do I mean? Getting like an autographed baseball in a display case, or getting a autographed football mini helmet. I mean, those are very, very popular collector's items. Or you can get that autograph framed 8x10 instead of getting the huge 16x20. So those are just a couple tips that you guys can do to make sure you're getting a smaller type item as opposed to a big monstrosity like the framed jersey. Now, again, if you've talked to the person already and you understand their wall sizes and they mentioned to you that they want a framed jersey of so-and-so player, then obviously, hey, you've got the go-ahead from the person to go ahead and do that. But typically, I always tell people to err on the side of getting something smaller. Number 3 is a really big one, is being afraid to ask questions. Okay, don't be afraid to ask questions. Again, let's put yourself back in the shoes of the guy who or girl who's going to go buy this water here. Let's just assume you know nothing, okay? And you're trying to find the most energy efficient one, get most bang for your buck, whatever it is your goals are. So no matter how dumb the question sounds in your head, ask it. I mean, the questions that I get are, some of the more popular ones are, Matt, how do I know this is authentic? I mean, that's a great question. If you knew nothing about autographs, that would be the first question that I would probably ask. And so I would just refer back to number one, buying an item with a PSA DNA, Spence Authentication, or Beckett Authentication. And there's a whole link on my website there about authenticity. And there's a great video that I've done on that. So if you want some more in-depth information on that, you can click on that to watch that. Another couple good questions are, what is your return policy? Hey, what happens if the person doesn't like the gift? Can you return it? When will the item arrive? You probably are buying a gift for someone. You probably need it by a certain time. So those are some simple questions to ask. And hey, ask what size is it? Hey, what size is this 8x10 frame? Hey, it may list it in the item description, but if you're in a hurry and you're not reading stuff, hey, ask those questions. Or, another popular question is, hey, what sort of payment methods do you take? Maybe you want to pay by a certain method like PayPal. We take PayPal on the website. So a couple good questions to definitely ask before you make your purchase. Number 4, waiting until the last minute. Now, yes, I get it. You're probably buying a gift for someone sometimes, and you're in a pinch, and you just kind of got to go ahead to get this item, or you forgot about it, and you want to, get it by a certain time frame, and you got to express stuff in. I get that, but Christmas is the same time every year. So in this particular industry, in the autograph industry, slim pickings get towards the end of Christmas there. So if you want to get a quality autograph at a good price, you want to start doing your research early. I would suggest probably starting about 7 to 10 days before you get your gift. That'll give you about 3 to 5 days to ask all the questions that you want to ask, find the right item that you're looking for, all that good stuff there to make sure that you're feeling super comfortable with your purchase, and then allow the customer or the vendor to ship the item to you ground. I offer free ground shipping, so if you'd want express stuff, you can do all that, but hey, I want to save you money. I don't want you wasting money on express shipping. So make sure you start early, and that way you can get the free ground shipping. And last but not least, number 5 here is not getting an item framed or adding a display case to your order. When your person gets the gift is the autograph gift there, you want to make sure that it's a completed item. Adding a $5 baseball case to the autographed baseball is just a super nice gesture. It completes the item for them. They can add it right onto their man cave or into their desk. It's done. They don't have to do anything. Same thing with photos, getting it framed. Now, framing is going to need a little bit more of a lead time. So, that 7 to 10 days, you probably want to bump that up to maybe about 10 to 14 days, maybe a little bit longer. So if you need it framed. But it's just a really nice thing to do, be able to give it that gift to that person and have it be 100% complete. They can put it up on their wall that day, and it just absolutely looks stunning too. Now, don't get me wrong. If a person has their own type of framing that they do, which some people do, some people like to have all their jerseys framed a certain way. Getting them just the jersey is obviously going to be perfectly fine. But especially with the smaller items like baseballs and autographed mini helmets, getting a little $5 to $30 display case there is just a huge gesture, and it just completes the item, and it just makes it look so cool and really makes you the hero in their story. So those are my top 5 there. There's plenty more there, but I think if you just focus on just those 5, you're going to find a pretty nice quality autographed gift. And hey, if you need a guide to help you through this process, you're still not sure what sort of gift you want to get, you've got a certain budget you want to work with, hey, you guys can always reach out to me. Let me know. If I can't help you, maybe I'll point you in the direction of someone who can help you. So again, please hit that subscribe button wherever you are watching, listening. I always appreciate it. And if you get a chance, please visit the website, powersportsmemorabilia.com. Thanks again, guys.